I recently got hired at a new job, and I don't think my boss knows that I know there is a camera in my office. Posted by you/Cassie I don't know where to start because I'm not even sure if this is weird or not. I started at this new job not long ago, and since the first day, I've known there was a camera in my office. I don't think it's necessarily weird to have cameras in an office setting. There are cameras in all sorts of places for all kinds of reasons. But the camera in my office isn't any sort of built-in fixture, and my individual office room is the only office with a camera in it. On my first day at the job, I realized my boss was too aware of my actions. He said something to me that threw me off, and I knew he wouldn't have brought it up unless he had been watching me do something. It was just too coincidental. But it was casual at the same time, so it wasn't a direct allusion to the camera he has. Immediately after that incident, I scanned around the room and found a camera nestled into a cubby with a small wire that leads into his adjacent office. My other bosses also indirectly responded to my actions in the group chat. The few times I had spent an excessive amount of time on my phone were the times that the "hey guys, let me know if you need anything to work on, I know things are slow" messages would trickle in. Anything that seemed to hint at me being watched was also said or done ambiguously enough that they weren't revealing anything about being able to see me, as if I'm not supposed to know I'm being watched, and that's what is unsettling to me. The camera is pointed directly at me. Not the door, not the front of my desk, not anywhere else that would make sense for security. I've looked at everyone else's offices and didn't see a single camera. The camera is pointed specifically at me, and I don't even deal with money or anything that could be stolen. I don't know if I should bring this up. I'm not entirely mad, and I guess I understand the reasoning, like making sure I'm on task or some crap. It just bothers me a little that I can be watched whenever, and they never even disclose that. I feel like someone being constantly monitored has the right to know that they are, especially since I'm the only one being watched like this. I at least use it to my advantage because I at least know not to be on my phone. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Anytime you are finished with a task and waiting for another one, spend excessive amounts of time staring into the camera. Don't blink at all, just stare vacantly directly into the camera. Commenter 2. Not to be weird, but I did look at your post history because I needed more context on your age and gender, as I think it does matter in this situation. Seeing that you're a 22F confirmed my suspicions that your boss may be a creep. You mentioned that at least one of your bosses is male, which makes me wonder what his intentions are. I'm also not sure how deep of a search you did of your office, but I would implore you to look under your desk, chair, and anywhere in the surrounding area where you typically sit. Nowadays, cameras are easily available online, and they can be as small as a button or disguised as something benign like a smoke detector. It is possible you are the only one being spied on, but it is also possible that your employer has hidden cameras elsewhere in your workplace, such as bathrooms or break rooms. You also did not mention what state you are from, but I am pretty sure any lawyer in any state could make a case for a young woman who is being filmed without her consent by her male employers. No matter which way you spin it, it looks very bad on their end, and I can't really think of any non-nefarious reason why they would need to record you. I know you are not asking for advice, but I would confront them directly or gather evidence to turn into the police and quit. No job is worth your privacy. On why she doesn't quit and find a new job. I feel like people are finding it more malicious than it might be. I don't think they're watching me to be weird, you know? They're all really nice to me, and they pay me really fairly. I was actually so lucky to get this job, and I can't afford to lose it. I like everyone I've met, and everyone seems so kind. I wouldn't want to do something that would be so detrimental to them. Adds an edit to her post. I wasn't expecting so many responses. I genuinely appreciate how concerned everyone is about whether or not I'm okay. It makes me feel good knowing a lot of people care about a stranger's well-being. I've seen a lot of comments asking for an update, so this is really the most I have of one. Nothing has changed yet. I haven't brought it up to them, because part of me is wondering if they'll eventually remove it. I was curious to see if they would ever bring it up themselves, or if I could find a way to hint at the fact that I know. I sort of want them to stay unaware that I know, so I can see how they act in response to my actions, to potentially call it out in the future. The top comment is pretty funny about staring into the camera. There were a few times where something ridiculous would happen, and I'd stare into the camera for a moment as if I was breaking the fourth wall. I don't think I'm going to bring it up just yet. I actually really like working here. I get along with my coworkers, and they pay me decently for what I do. For everyone asking, yes, I'm a woman. I don't think this is as much of a sexual harassment case as it is just a micromanaging thing. They haven't done or said anything to me to make me feel like they were hitting on me, just genuine politeness. My guess for the camera is that they're maybe testing my integrity and seeing how much time I spend on my phone, even out of the view of other people. Which I could understand, but wow, I wish there was another way besides a camera on me. There have been a few other micromanagey things that have irked me a little, but I still like my bosses in spite of that. If something changes, like if I start getting the vibe that this is becoming creepy, I'll keep you guys updated. Oh, and also, a few things I wanted to mention that a lot of people had ideas about. You guys had good ideas, by the way. Due to where it's at, it would be really hard to cover the camera with anything. I can't exactly reach it, so I'd have to find something like maybe a wide shelf that would block the view from underneath it. The wire runs into my boss's office. You can't see the wire from mine, so I'd have to take a pic of it from inside his office, so I don't know if I'm able to evidence collect too easily. I'm also trying to be a bit vague with details because I got a little paranoid about the idea of my boss somehow coming across this thread. Anyway, I appreciate you guys, and I'm sorry I don't have a more thrilling update. I'll let you know if anything changes. Update 25 days later. There's no HR, but the camera was removed thanks to IT. So, as previously stated, I still never said anything about the camera. I wasn't really comfortable with it, but I got used to being conscious of my actions, so they weren't seeing anything I didn't want them to. There also isn't some sort of HR to talk to about this or anything like that. But our IT guy came in, and he asked my boss about it. I wasn't in the room, so I didn't hear the entire conversation, but the first thing I heard was my boss saying that the camera was there before my office ever was. Something about using it to see the front door originally, I guess. That was a weird excuse to me, though, because I'd been there for at least 2 months at this point, and there's no way they could have accidentally watched me as much as it felt like they had been. Hearing the conversation out loud also confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was a camera, and that I wasn't paranoid. The IT guy must have felt some type of way about it, because I didn't hear what he said, but I heard my boss say something about, well, it's not like I was just watching her in her office, in a sort of quieter, sheepishly defensive way. Nobody said anything to me while they were removing it. They took it from his side, not mine, but they instead put it where it would be facing the front door. This happened just over a week ago. I haven't posted an update until now because I was waiting to see if the camera would be put back. I really wanted to see if they were going to put it back a few days after IT left, because that would have been wild. But it's been over a week now, and the camera is still away from me. It'll take some time before I stop feeling like I'm being watched all the time, though. I'm really curious what the guy said to my boss, whether he said something about it not being allowed or if he called it flat out creepy, haha. But I'm glad he did say something, as it got resolved without me ever having to say anything. I'd like to think he low-key had my back. I've still just been acting as if I've never known and haven't said anything about it, and work carries on. Also, it's so wild that this story got put in a Smosh video, holy crap. I heard the news back to back, first the hey, Smosh just bought their channel back, at the same time as hey, your post is in a new Smosh video. I made this post mostly to vent, because I couldn't tell if I had the right to feel so weird about this situation since everyone in my personal circle says it isn't that weird, so it's so nice that so many strangers are validating how I feel. To hear people talk about my experience on a public platform was a little surreal, I won't lie. This got so much more traction than I was ever expecting, but it makes me feel better, so thank you. Genuinely. My experience feels validated, and it feels heard, and I feel better because of it. I'm still going to stay at this job, because I still like everyone here and I enjoy my field, but now I'll be doing it under a little less surveillance, lol. If the camera comes back, I'll let you know. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. The real question is, if the camera was used to see the front door, why was it connected to his PC? Wouldn't you want something like that connected to a separate PC to record and back up the footage for security purposes? Also, are there security cameras inside or outside this business? If so, then that's super suspicious. Ops response. The idea behind having the camera facing the door is that they know whether the people walking in are clients or just the mailman or another coworker. It's to avoid having to get up out of the office to check who's in the front, because there's no front desk technically. The weird thing to me, though, is that his office is actually the only office from which you can see the front door, so it doesn't make any sense for him to have one facing it. Commenter 2. Yeah, it feels weird how Op is so okay with this. This is a violation of trust. Ops response. I don't have the money for a lawyer. I'd also end up having to look for a new job during the legal process. Lawsuits can take years, apparently. I still know several people fighting for compensation for on-site work injuries, and this is the best paying job I've had up until this point. There's also a lot of growth, so I'm willing to take the discomfort of this if it means I can survive without 2 jobs, haha. Plus, I don't even know if my case would have been solid enough anyway. The camera is moved, and I never got a decent pic of the cam or any evidence that it was actively recording. Not to mention, I literally just don't want to sue my bosses. They actually treat their employees really well and always compensate fairly for extra work that is done, instead of just piling on new work whenever they want. They're really sweet people who make me feel like my ideas actually matter, which is a nice feeling. I really appreciate how they do things, and even if the camera thing itself made me feel a little weird, it's the price I gotta pay to make a decent wage right now. The job market in my area isn't the best, to be honest. This place is an 80% pay increase from the previous place I worked for similar work in the same area. Everyone in the company is also just super sweet. I get along with everyone, and everyone seems pretty mutually respectful.